Welcome back to my reading diaries, a little series in which I explore different TBR approaches each month to explore different types of books in genres, avoid reading slumps, and just to have fun picking up my books every month and hopefully share some cool ideas with all of you. Today is episode 3, Schrodinger's books. We all have those books that we are simply avoiding to read because we have heard so many great things about them and we are worried that they won't live up to the hype. This month I decided to read only books that I am worried to read, popular books that I have been too scared to read because I am worried that I won't like them as much as I think I will. These books, for now, could be great. They could be my next favorite book just waiting around the corner, but they may also be such a letdown and then I have to voice my unpopular opinion while dealing with my own disappointment in these books. I have 3 categories: classics, booktube favorites, and personal pedestals. The classics are obvious. They are books that I know I will read eventually and I really hope will enjoy, like most of the reader population. The ones on my shelf for this are The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and Rainer Maria Rilke's Letters to a Young Poet. I've owned all these books for a while, but there is so much expectation that I'm worried to read them. But this month I will read at least one of them. I'm leaning towards The Bell Jar because I've thought about picking it up very frequently in these past few months, so I think this will be the one. The second and biggest category is booktube favorites. Since I started down the rabbit hole of booktube a few years ago, I have made an endless TBR of booktube favorites that I would like to read. I've come a lot more selective in purchasing booktube hype books as physical copies, especially in the last year, but quite a few books snuck through because I thought they just sounded really interesting. And before I make a little pre-selection, the ones that did make it to my shelf and I haven't read yet are Girl, Woman, Other, The Vanishing Half, Bunny, Legendborn, Cemetery Boys, Tomorrow, 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 The Atlas Six, Loveless, I'm Glad My Mom Died, and a recent edition, Pachinko. I know that some of these books are also some of your favorites, which you let me know a few months ago when I was asking for recommendations, so I definitely plan to read those very soon. And I think most of these don't need an introduction, so instead, just a few words about 2 books that have been on my shelf the longest, which are Girl, Woman, Other and The Vanishing Half. Girl, Woman, Other is the winner of the Booker Prize in 2019 and was really popular at that time also on BookTube. It follows the lives of 12 characters, mostly Black women in the UK across several decades, telling their stories of friendship and love and family. I've heard that it's witty and funny, but also moving and poetic, so I'm really excited to read this one. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett was popular on BookTube around the same time, and I will just read the blurb for this one. Twin sisters, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in 2 very different worlds, one black and one white. The Vignette sisters will always be identical, but after growing up together in a small southern black community and running away at age 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults, it's everything. Their families, their communities, their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. The other sister secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Still, even separated by so many miles and just as many lies, the fates of these twins are intertwined. What will happen to the next generation when their own daughter's storylines intersect? Weaving together multiple strands and generations, Britt Bennett offers a story that is at once riveting family drama and a brilliant exploration of the forces that shape our identities, decisions, and desires. Finally, we have personal pedestals. Now, I don't know why this is a thing, but for some books, you just have this feeling that this could potentially be your next favorite book. The one that you make your entire personality for like a month and won't shut up about to people. And I have a few of these too. Some of these could potentially fit into previous category as well. I'm not sure how much these were hyped on BookTube here too. The first is Time as a Mother by Ocean Vuong, because I loved On Earth Where We Were Gorgeous and his previous collection of poems, A Night Sky with Exit Wounds. There's also Norwegian Wood, because I have loved what I read from Murakami before. Then I have As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, which I know I will cry, I'm just not sure yet how much. And finally, Scythe, because you can't put The Hunger Games on the cover and expect anyone from my generation to resist. So ideally, I will read one from each category at least, and then I'll see which other ones I feel like reading after that. I may also pick out a book on Kindle that is not from this list, because I like having a book on my Kindle as well for when I'm out and about. And there are plenty of hype books that I don't have on my shelf yet. So please let me know if you've read and loved or hated any of these books. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did, which would really help my little channel grow. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.